What's up guys, it's Jonathan with One Big Impact, and today's video is going to be all about stretching. That thing we neglect to do but feels so good when we wake up in the morning. This video is actually dedicated to Nicole Armour, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Armour? Anyway, thank you so much for asking. This is something that we all neglect. Men, I would say more than women, but even still though, even women actually have a tendency of not really thinking too much about it and kind of using it as a, oh, I'm injured, maybe I should stretch out. Okay, so first of all, the first question was asked, and these questions come up not necessarily Nicole, but just in general. Should I stretch before? Should I stretch after my workout? Okay, so first, there's two major types of stretching. The first one that I want to cover is dynamic. What dynamic stretching is, and you probably never actually heard specific names, to be completely honest. If you don't stretch or you don't really focus on it or anything like that, dynamic or the other, static, is just probably not something you even cared or even thought about. So, important, dynamic stretching is basically a roundabout way of saying dynamic is kind of mimicking the movement, or kind of like an in-movement stretch. A good example is like somebody that's going to be doing squats will kind of swing their legs back and forth, or they will do the squatting position a couple times just to kind of get fluids moving through there. It's also called, some people call it active stretching, and this type of stretching I would recommend or focus on to do before your workout. It's not something that you're going to, that's going to be really extensive. It's just going to be kind of a quick thing in addition to like your light warm-up. So you got 5 minutes of warm-up, maybe 1 or 2 minutes of dynamic stretching. The next thing is static stretching. Static stretching is probably what you're more familiar with. Now static stretching is probably going to be better off, better off, okay, that makes no sense, I'm sorry. You better do static stretching after your workout, not before your workout. The reason for that mainly is because your muscles aren't warm yet, and there's no reason to try to lengthen something that's not warm, because you can end up injuring yourself or just not having much of an effective stretch because nothing's warmed up yet. The muscle static stretching is actually like the muscle lengthening. If you ever picture a muscle, like when you're, say for instance, if you're going to do something like this, a lot of people hold a wall and they'll go like that, and they'll kind of get that quad nice and stretched out and stuff, and they'll hold it for 30 seconds. That's going to be a static stretching. A static stretch. Can't talk today. You're going to do something like that for like 10 to 30 seconds. Now you got to remember, when you're doing static stretching, it's really important that you're not like trying to kill yourself. Like, and I know that sounds crazy, and maybe that's a no-brainer for a lot of people, but like I said right there, let me show you again. By stretching out my quad, holding my leg here, I get it to where it's comfortable but tough, and then just hold it for about 30 seconds. Breathing in, breathing out, and this is not trying to show you stretches necessarily. I can do a totally different video for that. And if you're wanting something like that, or if you want, I'll put a link to a video on YouTube that she does really good stretches, and she's actually really smart about it, and she does dynamic stretches as well as static stretches, and that can be really good for you. But remember, don't hurt yourself. Stretching is about making your body more effective, not less effective. And I kind of did this backwards. First of all, why do you stretch? You stretch to restore strengthened, shortened, tightened, or weak muscles, because they're easier to tear and normal range of motion can't be obtained. So basically, a lot of the times as we're going along our daily basis, maybe you have a certain job and you're constantly doing a repetition, or say you're sitting down or something like that. So there's going to be a lot of muscles, like maybe you're sitting down, so your quads or your hamstrings are not fully lengthened all the time, so you're not going to get that full stretch. So then when you're working out and you go into the gym and you're doing like a leg press or leg curls or extensions or something like that, you're not be able to get the full range of motion, meaning you're not able to work the full amount of muscle because your body's not normally going into the full range of motion because your muscles have shortened over time due through non-use or whatever it could be. It could be like a prior injury or something like that. So stretching after your workout, as far as like static stretching, is a good way to lengthen the muscles and prevent injury, as well as making sure you are able to work the full and complete muscle. Now, there is times that you don't want to stretch. That would be when you're injured, obviously. But funny enough, this is a very common mistake, including myself. I'll be completely honest, I'm infamous. I have a back issue, and stretching it out makes it feel better. It also makes it feel better to foam roll it out. That's another thing that you should incorporate into your stretching program, is foam rolling. Now, I know stretching's boring for a lot of people, blah, 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 blah. You don't have time to stretch. If you're that type of person, stretch out in between sets. You'll usually have a minute. Put your damn cell phone down. Stop tagging people on Instagram and weird crap like that while you're working out. Use that minute in between each one. Say you're doing chest, go grab the side of a machine and hold it and lengthen that muscle, because you're going to get more blood flow, you're going to get more activity, you're going to activate more muscle fibers. Therefore, you're getting a bigger muscle and a bigger result out of what you're doing, instead of posting on Facebook and waiting for 2 likes thinking you're Instagram famous. I got one yesterday. No, you're not getting my autograph. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But injured, if you have a broken or fracture, like broken arm, obviously, if you got a broken arm, don't stretch out your arm. Oh my gosh. If you do, video it, because I think that would be funny to watch. That's wrong. Don't say that, John. If you have like a fracture, or prior fracture, any type of injuries, you want to stay away from that. Also inflamed. If you have an inflamed like arm or type of body part or something like that, say you have an overworked area of your body that has been giving you problems and stuff like that, like tendonitis or tendinosis or something like that, I would not stretch those things out without proper care through your doctor or physical therapist, because it's really important that you're not, just because you think lengthening that muscle is going to make it feel better doesn't necessarily mean it will. Osteoporosis, if you have osteoporosis or it is known, talk to your physician about stretching. And also, if you feel pain when stretching, actual pain, don't be a wuss. I know stretching has a light pain, and remember not to take it too far. If you can't breathe while you're stretching too hard, so calm down, okay? And then remember, this is a really important thing, and I would say dynamic stretching a couple minutes before workout. And I'm a person that likes to stretch out while I'm working out, because it helps keep me focused, helps keep me off of my phone, helps keep me from chatting and stuff like that. Whatever body part I'm working out, I tend to stretch as I'm going through the process. Gives me like a nice 30 to 60 second stretch in between, and keeps me focused and my head in the game. And then afterwards, if you're doing the during exercise, I wouldn't worry too much about doing it after. And then if you don't, go ahead and do your after. And I would say put on some light music in your headphones or something like that, something soft, relaxing, maybe some piano, Mozart, Beethoven or something like that, or I don't know, Mudvayne, Pantera, freaking Deicide, or rap, or whatever your thing is that relaxes you. And then just kind of breathe through stretching and stuff like that, and make it a daily thing. And I'd say between 5 and 15 minutes should be sufficient. And I would say only stretch, obviously, the muscles that you're working on that particular day. Now, overflexibility can actually cause joint instability. Now, basically what joint instability is now a lot of people you'll have like gymnasts and people that do yoga and stuff like that. They can have these issues, but they also are okay, I guess, with that, because that's their forte, that's the type of thing that they're doing. But if you're doing muscle training and stuff like that, and you're trying to build muscle and you're trying to be stronger and stuff, it can be really dangerous, because your body's not actually able to, you're like hyperextending. So instead of if you're shortened, you'd be here with a bicep curl and you couldn't bring it all the way out. But then if you were all the way out, and that's fine, that's normal, but then if you actually work on, if you're overstretching, you could potentially, your wrist could be down here, and not like necessarily with the bicep, but I'm trying to give you an example, and you could actually end up with an injury because your muscle has become too long, and it can't protect the actual joint. Because remember, the muscles, we want to make them grow big, but technically they're just to keep our bones and everything together and straight and in line. So you definitely don't want to do like 3 or 4 hours of stretching a day. If that's your thing, whatever, but I would say don't overstretch. You guys, I hope you guys like our video. If you're new here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, go check out our Facebook group. It's called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I'll put a link in the description below. Those YouTube videos that I talked about, I'll try to find those and put those in the link in the description below. If there's a certain type of stretch or anything that you're wondering about stretching, please ask questions. It's important that you do. I'm also going to link up Trainers Club. Trainers Club is actually where I'm doing personal training. If you're looking to get training done in the local Mesa, Arizona, or online programs or anything like that, please let me know. Please let me know. Please let me know. Also, there will be some links for gear as far as like weight loss scales, body fat percentage monitors that I'll put in the link in the description below that I think are pivotal on your healthy journey. If you are just starting out, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. We're on this journey together. Have a beautiful day, guys. Hashtag be stronger than excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Keep up the good work. Peace. Bye, Felicia. Bye.
Can I get in trouble for that? Do you think that's like copyrighted? Bye, Felicia. Bye.